Hey, and welcome to Talk of Better Politics, live and on air. I am Sir Felix the Cat. With me is Hawk.
Howdy doody. It's a day. How's yours?
Oh, it's wonderful. It's another wonderful day in politics.
Another wonderful day.
Yes, talking to people online about all these different points of views. I put out a fucking video earlier just on TikTok. I didn't do it on YouTube because it's a little much. I might do it later, but it's basically I title it "A Message from the Far Left to the Far Left."
Yeah, I gotta do my TikTok stuff. I've been falling behind on that.
And with us, we have our favorite commenter, Carlitos. Let's flip and go. Go. Gotta do that little O at the end.
Go.
All right. Which we got to give Carlitos some mod privileges. I'll do that later. I'll message you for your email and all that, so I can set that up.
Yeah.
And so yeah, let's get into this. Let's introduce ourselves for anybody else who's going to watch this. We are not Democrats. We are not Republicans. We are far left. And no, far left is not radical. That's part of that video I put out earlier on TikTok, and I'm going to put out here. We are far left, and we have beliefs that would actually benefit this country, would not harm anybody, would benefit this country. Well, it might harm the rich if you're thinking about their bank accounts, because it would hurt their bank accounts. But
yeah, and
yeah, go ahead.
Well, no, we're not by far left. That also doesn't mean we are like communists or just like we don't define ourselves as communist or hard socialist. Like there's a lot of nuance to politics and a lot of nuance to political beliefs. We are on the far left, but we really don't adhere to just one label because if you actually understand anything about politics, it gets a little more complicated than that. So that's where we are.
Yep. And yeah, so if you call us libtards, you're just a dumbass. That's what that comes down to.
Yep. We'll probably be called conservatives by liberals too.
Yeah, we're the far right.
Yep.
I actually had a conversation with somebody, and it was nice because they came out and said, like, I'm a Republican, and I miss what the Republican Party used to be. And yeah, before Reagan, Republican Party, they were still bad, but they are way better than what we have today.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, we've talked about that before, kind of, where it, like, I mean, I think I mentioned it in one of my shorts too, where there's, on TikTok anyway, where there's a lot of Republicans who are not Trump cultists, and they're not part of that whole crew. They don't slurp the diaper, but they've just kind of gone along with the train because that's what they're supposed to do. That's what they believe they're supposed to do. And I feel like even some of the representatives have done this, where they're more traditional Republicans, but they're just along for the ride because they're either too scared to fight, which is most likely the case, or they think they have to stick to the party no matter what because of that hard line that we have with our political system.
Well, yeah, if you don't support MAGA, you are pretty much shunned, and you're guaranteed to lose your next election, which is sad, super sad. I mean, look at Mitt Romney. I'm not saying he's a great person, but he was better than the rest. We had John McCain, again, not a great person, but he was better than what we have today.
Yeah. Well, there have been a couple like old school Republicans who I've like agreed with on some things. They're not terrible. They're more conservative. I'm not really conservative at all, at least not with like 99% of things. But so at least some of the old head Republicans were agreeable, which I can't say for the current paradigm.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. All right. Let's get into some different news stories we have. I'll start with mine, and then we'll pop up yours. So first one, I haven't even read this one yet. I just happened to see it while I was scrolling through different articles before we started. And Trump unveils ambitious and expensive plans for Golden Dome missile defense. And I just truly hope this is not an actual Golden Dome, because that was pitched earlier in his last administration, or his last term, and that was moronic. Just absolutely moronic.
Yeah.
We're just going to put a big dome over us. That's going to protect us. No, that's going to kill us. We've all seen the Simpsons movie.
He thinks it's an actual fucking dome.
Yeah, he did in his first term, at least. That's where he was coming from.
He probably still does, dude. We're talking about someone with like the IQ equivalent of like a 5-year-old, effectively. I mean, basically, some of the insiders came out after his first administration, and they were like, we basically have to like write messages to him in crayons with monosyllabic words for him to understand anything.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there was a couple weeks ago, he was given a order to sign, like one of his executive orders, and the person read it to him, and he looked over at someone else, and he's like, do you know what that means? And it's like, no, dude, you should be telling us what it means. Don't ask someone else. You're the one who's going to sign this. Your name is going to be on it. What is wrong with you?
Oh, fuck. Oh, well, for this story, do they go into it all how he plans on doing this, or is this just some crackpot fucking plan that he wants to try? $175 billion, dude.
Yeah, it's expensive.
Oh, it has to be.
And he wants to have it done before the end of his term.
No fucking way. No way.
Yeah, once fully constructed, the Golden Dome will be capable of intercepting missiles, even if they are launched from other sides of the world, and even if they are launched from space.
No, there's no way. Also, like, Russia is, I'm pretty sure it's confirmed that they have, supersonic missiles at this point, which there is not a missile defense system, at least that the public is aware of, on this planet that could stop those things.
Yeah, it looks like SpaceX will be involved in this, but a key part of the plan is to place both missile sensing and missile destroying satellites into orbit above the Earth. The constellation would likely involve thousands of small satellites capable of attacking a missile in moments after it launched from its submarine or silo.
Christ. Well, you know where else this is a problem? Do you know how, like, trashed up space is now?
Yeah.
Like, we have basically turned space into the planet's trash can. And you could look at like live debris maps or like stellar body maps of shit that we have in our immediate atmosphere in space. And it will soon, especially if SpaceX gets its way with, if Musk gets his way with what's it called? Starlink, I think. If he gets to do that, we're no longer going to be able to leave the planet. Like, you're going to have to punch a hole through a wall of satellites to get out of the planet, which makes space travel really, really hard. So this is just adding to that even more, which is a problem on its own. And also, like, I'd want to see actual scientists talk about how this could even work, because the logistics, screw the money. And that's actually a low ball with that, like 100 or 200, whatever billion. That is a low ball for this. The logistics behind this are absurd, dude. There's no way we'll be able to pull this off.
Well, that's what's even better about that space debris. On average, about one track piece of space debris falls back to Earth every day.
Yep. That's going to get worse as we go forward, with or without this Golden Dome. Which, come on, the Golden Dome, dude. Come on, like, does it have to have such a gaudy and shit name?
Yep. Yeah, and it's basically roughly based on the space-based missile defense that was a dream under Ronald Reagan.
The Star Wars program. Yeah. It's
which I loved reading about that. That was a beautiful, like, detailed from the military. It was some report they put out, and it was beautiful. it was hilarious but beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, it's the Star Wars program is pretty cool. Just like all the crackpot, like, military theorist programs and science programs that people dreamed up in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. A lot of the stuff is really cool, but there's a reason we didn't do it, you know?
Yeah.
There's a reason we didn't do it. And most of the time it's not because money, because America has X money, even though we're also X in debt. We have God money. Okay. It's not because of labor, because we could easily get labor. It's because of logistics and just feasibility. And shit like this just isn't possible.
Yeah. Yep. Isn't it Saudi Arabia that has the dome or something like that? The Iron Dome?
Israel has the Iron Dome.
Israel. Yeah.
Which, I mean, I hate the conflict that's going on, but there were some awesome in the term, in like the actual definition of awesome, like in awe videos of the Iron Dome in use. A couple of times in the last couple of years where missiles have come in and you see countermeasure missiles come up and hit it looks fucking crazy. It's kind of cool to see outside of the context of it being, the prelude to a genocide. So
Yep.
Oh yeah, Carlito says we did militarized dolphins. I'm pretty sure we did. I think that was an actual thing. And every time the Iron Dome fails, I do a shot of mezcal. I should pick that practice up. That sounds fun.
But here's a great article that goes along with this. Russia is working on a weapon to destroy satellites. Already working on the thing to counter our plan. Just perfect. Dude, perfect timing.
I'm terrified, but also kind of excited for space warfare because that's coming. Like it's 100% coming. And shit, like you're going to have some real out of the box thinkers for when we start fighting in space or using space. Like space becomes a new aspect of war more than it already is with satellites. But yeah, $542 billion fucking dollars, dude.
Yep.
Where's this money coming from? Like we have X money, yeah, but like the rich aren't going to pay for it.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Christ, man,
it's gonna be fun.
You can't have healthcare though.
Yeah, over a 3-year span, that much money.
Dude, that time frame is wild. Like that's
and we're not taxing the rich because we're giving them tax cuts. We're not going to tax the companies anymore because Trump owns companies and the rich own companies. So why would we tax them more? So let's just, I don't know. I guess we're going to cut that more from more Medicare and Medicaid and then gut Social Security after that, which they keep saying, we're not going to touch that, but they're not going to help it. And that means it's going to fail, which they're effectively cutting it at that point. It doesn't take a genius to understand that one. That's just simple math.
Yeah, well, and the other thing too is I don't even think there are enough launch windows over a 3-year period to get this infrastructure up in space.
Probably not.
Because like you can't just shoot a fucking rocket in the air whenever you want. Like there's certain launch windows that happen. And I don't know it like that are optimal. I mean, you can technically shoot a rocket in space whenever you want, but like it becomes reckless and NASA doesn't do reckless. So
don't worry, it's probably going to be SpaceX, not NASA, because they Musk was trying to cut funding to NASA because he wants SpaceX to take over that contract.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. That's ridiculous, dude. So yeah, it probably will be SpaceX, and they'll throw the rule book out.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%.
Well, get ready to get hit by a rocket or some space debris in the coming years, I'd say.
Looking forward to it. Maybe I can catch it in my face and sell it for money after I die.
Yeah, catch it in my face and get my ticket out of this hell.
I mean, maybe they'll pay my family $5 million like they're doing for that one treasonous insurrectionist.
No, they'll write a check for like $3.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't vote for me? Okay, you can't have any money.
Yep. No money.
Yeah. So, next one. Gnome says Trump can deport who he wants, botches what habeas corpus means. Which, who would have thought? A moron doesn't understand what things mean.
God. Yeah.
She falsely claimed that habeas corpus is a constitutional right that the president has to be able to remove people from this country.
No.
Yeah. Just 100% factually wrong.
Oh, Christ, dude. This hurts.
Yeah.
Oh, Carlito said that she showed a video of herself naked in a hearing today, apparently.
I mean, it suits her. She's known as, what is it? Ice Barbie or something like that. She likes to dress up in all these different outfits. Like she's an ICE agent today. Tomorrow she's a cop. The next time she's going to be a firefighter. Like she just does it all for show. And she wants to lead that stupid reality TV show that they're pitching. Which, have you heard about that?
No.
They're working with the dude who was behind Duck Dynasty to make a reality show that's going to have immigrants basically compete to see who's going to get citizenship, and the rest get deported.
Oh, well, I think you might have mentioned that to me. I think you might have mentioned that, or maybe Carlitos said that in the Discord or something. Someone said that somewhere, and I forgot about it.
Yeah, Hunger Games for citizenship.
Yeah, that sounds great. That sounds like a good time. You know what? If we're gonna do this shit, let's go full bore with it. Let's bring back gladiatorial fights, dude. Let's do it. If we're gonna have the Hunger Games for citizenship, which we've shown doesn't fucking matter anyway at this point because they've been arresting citizens and deporting citizens. So what is it worth at this point? But
wait, hold on. Well, I have to pitch the argument, but they're only going after criminals. That's what Trump said. It's like, oh, but we're going to deny the fucking fact that he's been deporting people who have zero criminal record in their home country, any other country, or this fucking country.
Well, yeah, and here's the other thing too. One, because I remember I posted that ICE video on TikTok, and people got real fucking mad. Well, Reds got real fucking mad about it. And they were saying that like no U.S. citizens have been deported. Well, yes, they have. But here's the other thing: when you get gaffled up by ICE and they throw you out of the country, they're not giving you a hearing or anything, which habeas corpus and posse comitatus should allow for a hearing. You know, you should have a trial, be able to be judged before you're sentenced. Those are gone now. So you don't have a trial. You don't have a jury. You're not judged. So if you are a citizen and they gaffle you up, how are you going to prove that you're a citizen if you don't have a trial?
Yeah.
But here's the other part too, is this is like everyone says, or not everyone, but Republicans, usually conservatives in general, say that criminals should have no rights. And here's the problem with that. If criminals have no rights, well, Trump is a criminal. Yeah. And even on face value, like, yeah, fuck criminals. They shouldn't have rights. That might be what your first thought is with that. But the problem with that is that if criminals don't have rights, the definition of what is a criminal can be stretched to fit anybody, which means that you could be called a criminal tomorrow and then you suddenly don't have rights. That's why criminals need rights.
Yep.
But here we are with this fucking dunce.
Yeah. With a completely just inept staff. Like everybody he's placed in any position, just 100% inept. They don't understand the Constitution. That's the first thing. None of them understand the Constitution, especially this piece of shit right here, Stephen Miller. My video that wouldn't get accepted by TikTok, wouldn't get accepted by YouTube, about me calling him the worst fucking person on this goddamn planet. He is a complete and utter scumbag. Yep. Just straight up wearing his swastika. He doesn't care. It's like tattooed on his forehead, basically.
Yep.
Well, and then I was surprised to find out how old he is. I thought he was like in his like maybe late 40s, early 50s. Dude's 39 years old.
Dude, that's what evil does to you. It makes you look old as fuck. Like, look at what's that conservative Christian guy who does like he's part of the Daily Wire with like Ben Shapiro and all those idiots. I forget his name. He's gay, but he refuses to admit it. That's part of why he like became an asshole.
Well, you just said Ben Shapiro, so.
Well, yeah, but outside of Ben Shapiro, well, I guess it doesn't narrow it down with all of them. They're all gay and refuse to admit it. No, Michael Knowles. That's it. Michael Knowles.
Yeah.
So Michael Knowles is like in his early 30s, dude, but he looks like he's like 40 something.
Yeah. I thought he was way older than that.
I think he's around our age, dude. Like, if I'm not mistaken, he's like legitimately in his early 30s. And it's like, what the fuck? But that's what happens. Evil ages you, dude.
Yeah.
Well, and also with the incompetence, this is the problem with fascist regimes, is that outside of the fact that they're fucking fascist, but the problem that they face internally is that you get sycophantic loyalists and not people who are competent at their jobs. And so it always crumbles from under them. This is how it always goes. This is why it'll fail.
Oh, yeah. The transportation guy. He was in the real world.
The transportation guy?
Yeah, our Trump's head of transportation or whatever he is, the one who took over for Buttigieg.
Buttigieg. Yeah, Michael Knowles, yep.
Yeah, he was on The Real World, the MTV show.
Mm. No, he's hyper gay. Like hyper gay confirmed.
Yep.
And I mean that in both the literal and 90s way.
Yep.
Not that that's a problem. You could. I do not fucking care. But if you got to admit it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to admit it. Otherwise, you turn into a Nazi. It's like what are they called? Gremlins. You know, you feed them past a certain point, and they wind up turning into monsters. Conservatives can't admit that they're gay, and they turn into Nazis.
Yeah. Yeah. Here's the part I was looking for. When Stephen Miller initially floated the idea of suspending the writ of habeas corpus for migrants, claiming the privilege of the writ of habeas corpus can be suspended in time of invasion. What fucking invasion? Are we being invaded right now?
That's where they're stretching it. Like, so technically, yes, habeas corpus and posse comitatus can be thrown out the window in a time of an invasion, but they mean an invasion by like a near peer conventional adversary, not saying that like fucking MS-13 is invading us or whatever, like whatever gang that they're pointing out and saying that or illegal immigrants are invading us. No, they're fucking not. No, they're not.
Yeah. Yeah, but it was under Biden. We just had open borders. No, we fucking didn't. He stopped more than Trump did. Way more than Trump did.
Again, your daily reminder that Democrats deport more people than Republicans every fucking time.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I mean, Obama was known as the deporter in chief.
Yeah. Like they deport so many people, dude.
Yeah.
But nope, open borders. He was just bringing them in. He was busting them in, dude.
Yeah, that's the other thing. He was flying them in, busting them in, paying for them to come in.
Yeah, except it's like, who?
Yeah. It never happened.
Ones that actually bust them to New York? Wasn't it DeSantis?
Yeah, it was DeSantis and douchebag in Texas, whatever his name is. The one who, what's her face, called Hot Wheels. I can never remember his name.
Is it Abbott?
Yeah, I think it's Abbott. Isn't it?
That fucking scum,
Governor Abbott.
Dude. Threatening
he's a piece of shit.
National Guard to fight the army over fucking border shit.
Yeah. Yep. All right, on to the next one. This is a story I actually like that Trump did. I'm going to give him some praise for a second. This was a good thing to sign into law. And this was done because of his horrible wife, who I still swear wants to leave him, but for some reason doesn't. There must be some sort of like deal there that she can never leave him. A Texas teen was the victim of fake AI nudes. This happened a while back. Now a new law requires platforms to remove such content. They are removing AI revenge porn. They just signed this into law, and it's law S-146, I believe it is. It doesn't really say, but yeah, she was 14 at the time. Elliston Berry, then 14 years old, woke up in the morning of October 2nd, 2023 in her hometown of Aledo, Texas, to frantic text from I thought it said Alfredo at first. To frantic text from a friend. Innocent photos of Berry and her two friends from their social media accounts had been edited using artificial intelligence to make them appear nude. And this was spread all across the high school. It went wild on the internet. So like, I'm sure it wasn't just the high school. I'm sure it was a bunch of Republicans looking at them and some Democrats, but a lot of Republicans looking at them. Probably a bunch of, pastors and stuff like that, because they like to go down for this stuff.
Well, it was a girl, so probably not.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, true. Well, I said pastors, not priests.
Oh, yeah, true. That's true.
But yeah, it's that stuff is gross. That is absolutely gross. And I'll approve of it, whoever it is. Like I know there's sites that are dedicated to it for celebrities too. I don't approve of that. Like don't do that. If someone wants to put their nudes online, let them put their own. But by God, do not do that. And do you have to give talks to your kids about how to manage this type of insanity? Yeah. Kids having their cell phones and having access to AI is disgusting. It's disgusting because they're not being properly guided on what to do on the internet, how to not be a piece of shit on the internet.
Yeah, well, shit like this is part of the reason why I'm hesitant to have kids at this point. Like it, because I don't have kids yet. I would like kids, but it's just the world's fucked, dude. You got to worry about shit like this. And okay, so you have a kid. I don't want my instinct is to be like, I'm not giving you a cell phone until you're like 17. Or if you have a cell phone, you're gonna have a one-way like walkie-talkie cell phone.
Yeah.
Doesn't have access to shit. You could only call home like that. But if I do that, I piss them off. They get ostracized. They get made fun of by their friends and everything. It just. But yeah, I can't imagine having to even try to walk a kid through this shit. Like, hey, there's fucking crazy people out there who will take a picture of you and make you look like you're naked. So just be careful, I guess. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I think revenge porn, which we thankfully finally banned like years ago, that was banned. I think that's stupid. And I think this AI shit is stupid too. But here's my problem. Here's my twist, okay? Fucking, they're going to ban people from being able to use AI to make fake nude images of other people. But they're not going to ban AI making other people look like they're saying shit that they're not. Or AI making people like doing other shit. That won't be banned.
Deep fakes need to fucking go.
Yeah.
100%. I mean, given there's a guy, I shared one of his videos on the Discord the other day, and he makes some funny AI videos. You can clearly tell these things are like not trying to be deep fakes.
Yeah.
They're just bad AI with some funny shit being said in it. But
it's just comedy.
Yeah, deep fakes, when it gets to the point where it looks like somebody is saying something or doing something, that's bad. That's fucking terrible.
Yeah, I mean, even if we lose, like, there's this one guy I've seen, and it might have been the guy you posted, I don't know, but he looks kind of similar to Tom Cruise, but then he uses AI to like finish the effect and make him look exactly like Tom Cruise.
Yep.
And he talks like him and everything, and he does these comedic videos. If we have to lose shit like that in order to make it safer for people to not have to worry about being framed for crimes or like, having their careers destroyed because, it looks like you called, like, let's say that woman earlier, a week or two ago, that woman who called the little kid the N-word. Okay.
Yeah.
What if someone makes a deep fake video like that of you? You lose your job. You have no social credibility. Like your whole life gets turned upside down.
Just start a donation thing, and a bunch of Republicans will donate to you because you said the N-word.
Yeah, maybe you'll walk out of it a millionaire.
Yeah. But speaking of deep fakes, though, Texas, partially done by Ted Cruz, they did do the Take It Down Act, where distribution of not just revenge porn, but deep fakes is also banned.
Good.
Yeah. Texas did one thing good. Ted Cruz did one thing good.
It's the only thing he'll ever be able to do that's good.
Yeah.
I don't care how much of a gooner you are, okay? Like, you could just go find someone who looks close to the person that you're trying to do a deep fake of. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, the internet is vast. There's more porn than you could watch in your life if you watched porn every minute of every day. So just go find something legit.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't need... I mean, AI porn just boggles my mind. I mean, if you try to... Oh, hold on.
Bork. Dog difficulties.
God, he's so hyper. Chihuahuas. What the hell was I even going to say? And I don't remember. Yeah.
About porn, just porn.
Yeah. AI porn. Like, AI, if I make an AI person, like I've done a lot of like just try to make AI for old videos and stuff and just like random images. And it'll create a person that has like 3 legs or something like that. Or there's even that one that we were sharing on Discord. I think Carlito shared it the other day on Discord, like maybe a week ago. It was all those women in white dresses. And if you actually look at it, it's all AI. And if you watch the white, it forms a swastika.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, it's the same thing with like porn mods in video games, dude. Like, why? We have porn. You could just go watch porn. You could read porn. You want Playboy? Playboy's still a thing.
Oh, like there's don't get me started on video games and their stuff. God.
It's just like, why do I have to like go through and see a mod where a chick has like giant bimbo blimp tits in like Fallout or something? Like, come on.
Yeah.
We don't need it. We don't need it, dude.
Yep. You got to have your lowly waifu when you're playing Dragon's Dogma.
Yeah, like if you're that desperate, like that's a problem. You need help.
Yeah.
Cue the Michael Jordan. Stop it. Get some help.
All right. My next one is one that has me also pissed off, and it deals with the lovely group of Supreme Court. And this was an 8-1 decision, which is what makes it even more just absolutely disgusting.
Yep.
Supreme Court allows Trump to end protected status for a group of Venezuelan nationals. These are people who fled here to get away from the dictator of Venezuela. When these people get sent back there, because that's what Trump's trying to do, is just send them all back. Doesn't matter if they're criminals, because they aren't. They're going to be possibly killed. Like, he's a dictator. He's not going to be nice to them. He's not going to welcome them back. Be like, hey, I hope you enjoyed your vacation. They went against the dictator. Their lives are pretty much forfeit. Their kids' lives are pretty much forfeit. Their family, all their lives are pretty much forfeit.
Yep. I mean, yeah, and you see this. I mean, this shit happens with Mexicans too. I mean, like a lot of people who come here from Mexico, not a lot, but there's a number. I don't know the fucking percentage, but there is a number high enough to have its own percentage of people who come here from Mexico who are fleeing persecution or being hunted by the cartels and shit. Like they're
dude. When a fucking cartel takes over your town, they literally tell you, "Don't fucking leave."
Yep.
If you try to go to the border, and that's the whole thing with like people coming over here, not going through the border to get here, like illegally crossing into the country, is some of them are fleeing the cartels because if they try to go to the fucking border, the cartel is going to meet them there and they're not going to make it across the fucking border.
Yep.
And that's something that these people don't fucking understand. It's like sometimes they're coming here and that's the only way they can make it. That's the only way they can make it here. And you know what they tend to do? They tend to actually go and pay their taxes. They try to get a job and do things the right fucking way once they get here and try to make up for the fact that they had to do something they're not supposed to do.
Yeah. I mean, that fear will make you go straight right away. I mean, it's like, and here's the thing too, like, I think a lot of Americans don't understand the mindset of a dictator or a member of the cartel, or like these people in places that have had it way fucking worse than we've had it for way longer. Okay. And like, they think, oh, if I deport back, maybe kill the kids, but they won't kill the kids. No, they'll kill the kids. They'll probably kill the kids in a horrific way first, make the parents watch, and then torture the parents to death. Like it is twisted shit that happens. Like, if you think that anybody out of these groups or families is safe, you've got no idea. They're all at risk.
Yep. It's another situation where your family's life is 100% forfeit.
Yep. They don't even care.
And like their president's trying to do great things. I fully support what she's trying to do to stop this. But there's only so much she can do. There's only so much their military can do and is willing to do.
Yeah.
Because that is a losing fight. Like, I don't think that we should go over there and try to like what they were talking about, like bombing them and shit. Like to start shooting missiles over the border at the cartels. Well, you're going to kill a lot of fucking innocent people. Even if they sent their military, there's going to be a lot of innocent people who are used as fucking human shields. If we send our military over there to team up with them, same thing's going to fucking happen. A lot of innocent people are still going to fucking die.
Yeah. Well, and also the cartels would up their attacks here. Like you would have to worry more about cartel terror attacks on U.S. soil than you ever had to worry about Muslim extremist attacks for the entirety of the quote war on terror. Like the cartel is way more fucking capable of hitting America than any Muslim extremist group ever was. And I guarantee you would hear about regular terror attacks if we decided to go on full ass war with the cartels down there. Not to mention, America's really good at missing with their missiles. So, and by missing, it's a quote. I mean, I'll have my camera sometime, but quote unquote missing. And so shooting and, blowing up an entire fucking village because one guy might be there. So we're going to kill hundreds of thousands, if not millions of civilians.
It's literally going to be the equivalent of what Israel did.
Yep.
Or is doing.
Yeah. And my whole thing is like, could we assist the Mexican government in the fight against the cartels? I think we could. I think we could maybe send some spec ops guys down there, like maybe help train them on some shit, maybe give them some weapons and shit, like, help them in ways that are actually feasible and won't cause the deaths of untold civilians. But like, if they don't want that, which they don't, the president down there has said she doesn't want our help with anything. Let them fucking handle their shit. They know the land. They know the people. They've been doing this for decades. Like, this is something they're good at. They've got real good, hard-ass fucking people on their side who have been doing this shit for way longer than anybody here has. So let them handle it,
Oh, yeah. And she understands that if we come over there to help, we're going to try to set up a lot of fucking bases there. A lot. Yep. We're just going to try to take a lot of their fucking land.
Well, it's the same shit with Ukraine, which yes, we do have soldiers in Ukraine. That's a fact at this point. But also, like, we're gonna say we're gonna come help you out to fight your war, but then afterwards we either have military bases in your country, like Europe after World War II, like Japan after World War II, like fucking Asia after World War II, or we're just gonna basically own you in trade deals and shit, or like, you have to give us a fucking 20% cut of anything that you make ever. We're the mafia. We're the world mafia.
Yep, it's what we do. But also, like, back to where you're saying about how the cartels would come here and do shit. Let's just say, since Trump's in office, use him as the example. If he was to come out and declare, we are going to basically go to war with the cartels, and he starts doing like strikes and shit there, the Secret Service better be on top of their fucking game.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're going to come straight for his ass.
Yep.
And they are going to kill anyone who stands between them and him.
Yep. Well, and think about it. They got those sicarios and shit. Like kids. And like the older sicarios you should be fucking terrified of because they started as kids. Been taking people out since they were children. They have zero conscience. They have zero care. They don't even care if they die. They're like absurdly lethal weapons as people. And they will find a way to hit anyone in any semblance of power here because it's what they fucking do. That's just what they do.
Yep. It would be absolutely terrible.
Yeah. Well, and the other part is we already have their foot soldiers up here, dude. Like, what do you think MS-13 is? Like, they're open affiliates with different cartels. Like, we already have groups up here that are like sleeper cells if they want them to be effectively.
Yep.
It's a big problem that takes a lot to sort out.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, that's all the stories that I pulled up really quick.
Yeah,
I planned hard.
So should do it. We talked about this. Hold on. Hashtag TikTok. We talked about this. Somebody should do it thing. Do you remember that? Talked about that earlier.
In relation to the 8647.
I don't know if it's in relation to that with TikTok, how people keep putting up videos saying somebody's got to do it. And they just look at the camera and like, what we're talking about. Somebody's got to do it. Is that related to the 86, 46 or 7? Or whatever?
Yeah. 8647. Which, I mean, we could just play my video I put on TikTok earlier. It's 5 minutes.
Yeah, play that shit. Let's play that shit, then we'll talk about it. Because there's a lot to talk about there, I think.
Yeah, give me a second because I don't have it ready.
Because that was the first thing I wanted. Because I really wanted to touch on that today. Because it's relevant, and I think we both have a lot of shit to say on that one.
Yeah, and this is going to be a little... pause. I'm getting notifications and stuff. Start this over and then pull it up. Whatever. It's going to start a word into it. Present. And yes, it's going to have the sound. So I'm not going to be talking during it. So this is a video I'm calling a message from the far left to the so-called far left.
Yeah.
We got to talk about this now. Go back to an issue that's popped up recently, which is 8647, which is something that started off as a movement to cancel this presidency, as in remove the president from office, not in a violent way, but impeach him. That's the whole basis of 8647. Now, because a gentleman who was a high-ranking officer, he was a cop essentially, and cops have, not all, but there have been cops that have used 86 for end the person. And yeah, that was just taken out of context, and it's being used because of that relation. And now we're going to say that, yeah, he's calling for the assassination. That's one thing. But now we have people who are claiming to be far left, who are saying, yes, we should do that. And no, hold up. No. If you are claiming to be far left or just left in general, and you're calling for that, you are highly mistaken. As someone who is far left, that is not what this movement is about. That's not what this whole ideology is about. If you want to be far left, you want a better country, a better world for all. I've had people who come on here and on YouTube who have said some like vile things to me. And you know what? In the end, because of my views, my ideals, if the government worked the way I want it to, that I believe it should, I still wish the best for those people. I hope they get to live a happy life under that type of government. This side is not about wanting people to no longer exist. We want that viewpoint, like the racism and all that, to end. We want that to go. Put that in the dirt, bury it 6 feet under, but not the people. We want them to learn and improve and better themselves. So don't come out online and try to claim, oh yeah, I'm far left and I want people to be ended. No, dude. You are highly mistaken. That's why there's people out there who believe the far left is radicals. No. We want a better country. We want fairness of wages. We want fairness of the economy. We want prices to be pretty much controlled. We want companies to pay their taxes. We want the rich to pay their taxes. Because in the end, we can use that money to better ourselves. We can have programs that better everyone in this country, benefit all. Do not come out there and say that a president needs to be ended. That is bullshit. We don't need to resort to violence. That's what kind of the far right movement is about, is violence. There's a whole special that Jordan Klepper did on The Daily Show that goes over that. That is pretty much what their movement is about. They relate to violence. Don't do that. I mean, you could be into violence. Like, I like video games that are kind of violent. I watch some anime that's kind of violent. I watch movies that are like, I love John Wick. It's super violent. Am I going to go out there and do that stuff? No. What John Wick does in the end is bad. He is ending people. And you can look at this and be like, well, you've said before that you support the Revolutionary War. Yes, war is bad. War is violent. People get hurt. People lose their lives in war. And yeah, it's kind of a mixed feeling here. But sometimes there is a war worth fighting. That one was one worth fighting because we were planning, our forefathers were planning to make this country a better place, to not have a regime, a king. So yeah, unfortunately, people did lose their lives in that, but it was for a better good. Ending a president or ending someone who doesn't see your ideals isn't good overall. I wish there was a way that we could have avoided the war and had a more peaceful way to do it. But unfortunately, that was one of those situations where you just couldn't. But this is a situation where you can. You don't need to be calling for anybody's life to be ended. Just stop that. Do not go down that road. Do not be like that. Be a good person. That's what the far left is really about, being a good person, benefiting all. So stop this trash. Yeah, that was that. That was my message to the far left.
Yeah. I mean, so like with this whole thing of calling for, you know, I mean, we could say death on YouTube, but calling for the death of a sitting president. I think I understand why people are doing it, because they're fucking pissed. And they're getting more and more pissed, and their personal lives are being affected more and more by his terrible decisions as we go on, especially in the next week or two when the tariffs finally or the aftershock of the tariffs finally hits. But you're right, to call for that is stupid, especially if you're saying that you're a leftist, because first of all, let's look at it practically speaking. So even if someone did do that, what's it going to change?
Yeah, it's going to make them more hostile.
Well, yeah, it's going to make them more hostile. It's going to give whoever replaces JD Vance. It's going to give him an excuse to crack down with martial law. It's going to basically make the right wing just blow the fuck up because their Jesus just got killed. So they're gonna go in the streets. They're gonna round up leftists. They're gonna fucking look for an excuse to just take out as many people that they see as their enemy as possible. It'll fuel more racism because of the racist elements on their side. It's just gonna it's gonna make shit worse for the average person if someone were to do that. And then outside of that, you take out the figurehead. The cult now has a literal Jesus figure at that point. They have like an actual Masonic figure. And they'll wind up rallying around him and hardening the base, and that's also going to be bad for us. We shouldn't call for the death of anybody, and we shouldn't ask for violence. Violence is not the answer. Sometimes violence is necessary. It happens. Look at World War II, for instance. Should we have sat back and let Japan bomb us and let the Nazis, genocide an entire group of people? Most people would say no. So sometimes war has to happen. With the Revolutionary War, there's a lot to that, but for one reason or another, a lot of people believe the war had to happen. Does a war have to happen here? No. There's really one other feasible option to change shit here. And that would be a general strike. That's our number one option, and that should be what we aim for, because it's nonviolent. It's disruptive, but not chaotically disruptive. We're not destroying shit, and it's the most respectable way to try and bring about the change that we're looking for. So it's a stupid position to call for this shit.
Yep, absolutely. I can't stand anybody who's doing that. And plus, people understand code. Like, they understand the whole, do it in Fortnite bullshit. That was broken down a long time ago, especially when that one Republican in Florida, the guy sitting in his mom's attic or whatever it was, saying that on chat forums. He got arrested because they understand that. That's not some special code that people can't fucking figure out.
Yep. Now, people aren't stupid. They know what you're talking about. When you put up your little TikTok.
You're 1,000% on a fucking list.
Mm-hmm. Well, we are too, but
yeah.
Well, and here's the other thing. Would I shed a tear if it happened? No, I wouldn't. I really wouldn't.
Yeah. I wouldn't shed a tear, but I don't want to see it. It was the same thing like when I was saying about Biden with him running again, with his age and his cognitive issues he was having. I didn't want to see a president possibly die while in office. Just didn't want to see it. Mm-hmm. And especially now that he has his, as Trump wants to call it, stage 9 cancer, which isn't a thing, but he has stage 5 cancer. and it's a possibility it could happen because it's spreading to his bones.
Yep.
We possibly would have seen a president die while sitting in office. I don't want to see it.
Yeah, you and I differ on that. I don't give a fuck. If President croaks while in office, I don't give a fuck. I like literally, if anybody in our government has like cancer or a heart attack or fucking gets blown up or whatever the hell, I could not give a shit less. Not that I want it to happen, full disclosure, but I am not going to lose a wink of sleep at night over it. But I understand why you feel that way, because it's the position thing. It's like it's a respect of the seat. You don't like, it's a big thing, you know?
Yeah. Scott Adams. Why does that name sound familiar? Oh, the Dilbert guy. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
He has the cancer too. It's sad.
But, you know, it's to call for violence first when we have one other option is foolhardy, narrow-minded, short-sighted, and it's only going to make things worse. And it'll only guarantee that violence is used in response, which then means it'll escalate, it'll snowball, and more people will die. And nobody wants that. Nobody wants that.
Oh, Greg Gutfeld came out and says no one on the left can criticize Comey's 86-47 post as getting overblown. Because we're all radical leftists. That's what that comes down to.
Let's dissect that a little bit. Radical. Let's dissect that a little bit. What do you think makes someone a radical leftist, or radical in general, like a radical right winger, a radical leftist, etc.? What do you think makes them radical in particular?
Well, I mean, if you look at it on a one perspective, Trump is a radical in the fact that MAGA is a radical movement in the Republican Party. Mm-hmm. So when they say radical, I don't understand why they are saying it, because that makes no fucking sense. That's the pot calling the kettle black.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But to me, radical, you have to be super fucking far. Like, yeah, the person who is calling for the death of people and stuff like that, that's radical. That's very radical.
That is. It is. But I would argue that you and I are also radical leftists. Not in the way that we want to kill people, but in the way of the change that we're looking for would be radical change.
Yeah, 100%.
And the methods we would have to use to bring about that change are also radical. Like a national general strike is a radical thing. Like that to be able to
beautiful thing.
Oh, it is beautiful. It's absolute like that. I would honestly cry if we had a national strike. Or a general strike. But we need radical action to affect radical change. Because if we keep operating within this fucking destroyed system, nothing is going to happen. And that's where we have to, and I said this in another short, when we talked about it in the Discord, I will talk about it till I'm blue in the fucking face. We have to abandon identity politics, which in itself is a radical shift. And we have to work together with a general strike, preferably, towards effective change in this country. Anything short of that, even if it includes going into the voting booth and voting blue no matter who, will do fuck all at this point. We need radical change.
Yeah. Yep.
So stop fucking calling for violence, people. It's not going to help anything.
Oh,
but,
God.
Got 100% from Carlitos.
Greg Gutfeld's thing is saying that we can't criticize it. The Republicans can criticize it, but nobody on the right can criticize the fact that he did it, because we're also the same party that criticizes the Nazi party.
So
Greg Gutfeld's fucking retarded. Like, I'm sorry. That's what it comes down to.
Dude, I knew one of us was going to drop the R word at some point with this, because you can't not. These people are fucking retarded, okay? You cannot not say that word at this point, okay? Yeah. I just didn't know who or when.
Yeah, we don't say that in a way of fucking, like, mentally handicapped people who are, like, actually mentally handicapped.
They are actually mentally.
But yeah, these people are just missing their fucking brains.
Yeah, we're canceled. First episode.
Yeah,
canceled.
They're fucking terrible.
A soft T.
Yeah, they're retarded.
Yeah. Retarded, you know. They're regarded. No,
yeah, they're regarded as morons.
Yeah, regarded as more. No, they are mentally deficient. Okay, so Kyle Kalinske talks about this. He's like, I don't agree with what's it called? Eugenics, but I believe in the future there's going to be eugenics not based on race, not based on like IQ, or kind of based on IQ, but based off of political alignment. And
Yeah.
if you're a conservative, you won't be able to have kids.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I've been saying this for years. Here's a hot take for you. You should have to take multiple tests, a battery of tests, to get a license to have a child. I truly believe that.
I think there should also be an IQ test for voting.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Because, dude,
if you don't understand what the fuck you're voting on, like, yeah, I mean, let's just say this is a country where voting worked. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, we're going to
actually work the way it's supposed to. Yeah. And it's done by the popular vote, and there's no fucking dick fuckery going on with some group called like the Electoral College, which can just completely 1000% rig a fucking election.
Or gerrymandering and shit.
Yeah, no gerrymandering, just a straight, legit vote the way it should happen.
Direct democracy.
Most of these people that are voting don't fucking understand at all what they're voting for. One, if you're buying fucking lies of a politician, you're a moron. You're a fucking moron. Look at what they've done. Look at what they do. Look at what they say. Look at how they act. Look at everything about them. If you're going to vote on a politician with actual knowledge of who you're voting for, good for you. Good for you. Because if people voted with knowledge of how the fuck Trump actually is, why would they ever vote for him? He's a fucking criminal. A hardcore criminal who scams people. Like, he cons his followers fucking daily. Just the constant fucking grift. Did you see the thing about the watch?
How he was selling watches that didn't even exist yet, but they're also bullshit.
Well, there's another one. He licensed out his fucking name to a third-party fucking company that's also selling like cheaper watches that look kind of nice. Like, you've seen them on like Amazon and shit. They look nice, but they're like fucking $30, something like that. But sometimes you'll see resellers sell them for like fucking 80 to 100. Well, this guy got one for his wife as like a surprise present. It was like the pink Melania edition of the Trump watch. And when they got it, it was missing a fucking letter. So she got a rump watch.
Oh my God. A rump watch.
Yeah. Let's pull it up.
Dude, I want a rump watch.
Yeah. It was $600.
Jesus, dude.
Yeah, so let me share my screen because we all gotta just have a good fucking laugh at this one.
First of all, if we're talking luxury watches, that is not that expensive. Ew, dude.
So here's the watch as advertised. Let me open this in a new.
That looks so gross, dude. Not because
I don't.
But
Yeah, I mean, they said they liked it because it looked like a Rolex band. Whatever, but it doesn't.
A fucking Rolex.
But. That's a terrible picture. Let me. Yeah.
The rump watch.
Yeah.
That's beautiful, dude. $640 fucking dollars for a rump watch.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's probably made out of fucking plastic and aluminum too.
And the guy who's right here, he was saying that he thought it would have the integrity of the president. And I mean, that's a joke in itself because that pretty much does.
Yeah, like I'm sure the watch does have the integrity of the president, and by that I mean it falls the fuck apart the first time you put it on your wrist.
Yeah.
Oh, Carlitos mentioned us having literacy tests for voting. We did. We used to have literacy tests for voting, but it was discriminatory because basically black people were illiterate after slavery was abolished. So because they couldn't read or write for the most part, they were basically not allowed to vote. And it was used as a way to prevent black people from voting in general, which now we just have, more efficient methods of preventing black people from voting. Because we still have that.
They like with the past couple elections and like these fucking rural areas that are mainly black people, they would literally, Republicans had set up to where there'd be construction on every road leading to the polling place.
Yep.
So they'd have to either drive for miles to get to another one, which they're not allowed to do because your polling place is like done. It's predetermined where you're going to be voting at. I can't just be like, well, you know what? I like this town better, so I'm just going to go over to that town and vote. No, I'm registered to vote at the fucking church up the road from me.
Yep. It's fucked, dude. And there's so many things that they do to prevent specifically black people of color in general, because it's actually not just black people anymore, but to prevent minority groups from voting, minority groups in the United States anyway, because white people are the minority globally. But yeah, it's fucked up. But I have some videos here from a couple of people. I started off with Fox because I think it's interesting to watch the bullshit from the other side. We could also at some point in the future watch bullshit from the left side, and by left I mean what is it, slightly left of killing homeless people for sport over on CNN. But do you want me to put up one of these videos? We could do the frightening quote. All right, let's see. Let me see here. This is all different for me here. Oh,
that's why school was canceled today. I didn't know why. A water main broke.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Can you see this?
Yep. Oh, you didn't have to ask me to do it. That's dope that you have those permissions. I like that.
Yeah, you gave me like full on permission for it now. So
man, I should have done that a long ass time ago.
Yeah, dude, it's a hell of a lot nicer than what we've been working with. But yeah, no. So I have the same setup that I assume you do too. So all right, so let's just watch a little bit of this. I have not seen what the hell this is about. Have you?
No.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. This is the thing. This is about the Tapper's book, isn't it? I
think so. I mean, I'm gonna assume, but I don't know. Let's play this though. Let's see.
Advanced prostate cancer diagnosis. Yeah. Okay. But he's also raising pretty important questions about the timeline surrounding it, and he wants answers.
I think it's very sad, actually. I'm surprised that it wasn't, the public wasn't notified a long time ago, because to get to stage 9, that's a long time. There are things going on that the public wasn't informed, and I think somebody's going to have to speak to him.
There was your stage 9, by the way.
Fucking great. Once I saw the clips, I was like, yes, this is it.
Stage 9. He's at terrible stage 9 cancer. All right. Also, I'm just going to pause this periodically so we can, 1, make an ass out of them, and 2, so we don't get fucking destroyed by YouTube. But yeah, right, let's keep going.
His doctor, if it's the same, or even if it's 2 separate doctors, why wasn't the cognitive ability, why wasn't that discussed? And I think the doctor said he's just fine, and it's turned out that's not so. It's very dangerous. Look, this is no longer politically correct. This is dangerous for our country. So it's a very, very sad situation, and I feel very badly about it. And I think people should try and find out what happened. Somebody is not telling the facts. That's a big problem.
Emily, there's so much we need to learn. And what is interesting, MSNBC doctor flagged this yesterday.
Yo, real quick, fuck her. I hate her.
Well, also, Trump is the pot calling the kettle black. Because what are his fucking completely staged fucking doctor's notes? Oh, he's the healthiest person to ever fucking exist. That is a lie. We know this dude has blood pressure issues. He has just like issues in general. He's on a ton of fucking medication. What the fuck are you talking about? Your shit's pure fucking lies. Yeah, and dude, you're saying that this is lies. Yeah, we all understood. We could visibly see both of you have fucked up issues. Trump has cognitive issues. He has health issues. Biden has cognitive issues, and he has fucking health issues. We saw this all along. We're not fucking stupid.
Well, yeah, and dude, fucking Trump eats McDonald's like 3 times a day. I mean, he just nobody can look me straight in the face and tell me that dude is healthy in any fucking conceivable way. Not to mention he's built like a fucking whale. If you really look at him, he has a nice tailor, so his suits look a little more flattering than the reality of the situation. But the dude's he's not healthy, and he lies about this shit all the time. So this is, like you said, the pot calling the kettle black.
You could see his body when he's golfing. He's wearing usually a white shirt, a white polo. And you can see his man boobies in his gut. You can see his diaper line. You can see all of it.
And his
But
like
also-
Kim Kardashian ass.
Trump's White House doctor, what the fuck is his name? Ronnie Jackson? I think that's his name.
I think so.
He came out in a statement about the whole Biden cancer too, and he was like, "Oh yeah, we all know, we understand that from the records that Biden's doctor was just lying to everybody and hiding the truth." And it's like, you're doing the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
You are literally doing exactly that. You did that when fucking Trump got COVID. You again came out and said he's the healthiest person alive.
Yeah, it's fucking bullshit. I'm sick of it. I mean, it's all like we're at like Kim Jong-un levels of propaganda with the president at this point. So
Yeah, on both sides.
Yeah, on both sides. No, like I'm not going to exclude the Democrats from this because fuck the Democrats. Full disclosure. Okay. Fuck the Democrats. Someone's going to jump in at this point and see that we have Fox News up and hear fuck the Democrats and be like, oh, hell yeah, another right-wing podcast. Whoa.
Yeah, but yeah, fucking watch the whole, like, that one clip I sent, the Klepper video, which is like 24 minutes long. It's a whole fucking episode by itself, but also the Daily Show, like the Jon Stewart opening from last night, because he went over a lot of this too, and it's like, it's just fucking mind-blowing. Mind-blowing.
I watched that while playing Doom earlier, actually.
Yeah.
It's
the new one?
No, I don't have the
new
one because money. So I played Doom 2016, beat it, and now I'm gonna, after the show, continue to download Doom Eternal. And that's gonna be one of my 12 because I haven't beat that one yet.
Nice.
But all right, let's continue.
Okay, and we dug into it. Here's what we found. These are PSA numbers that past presidents have put in their medical reports. You can see all of them. I mean, down to, a second numeral there, a second digit. President Trump, Obama, Bush. The Brain Room could not find any indication that Biden had taken this test. That makes one of two options possible. Maybe he took the test and it wasn't included in the report.
Wait, what the fuck is this PSA thing? Do you know about this?
No, normal NG. Let me see.
Yeah, what the fuck is a PSA test?
That'll help so I can learn how to spell. Prostate cancer screening.
Yeah, measures prostate-specific antigen PSA in your blood. Okay. So, we know Trump's lying about that 12, 100%.
Yeah, he wanted to look like he had the best. Again.
Right. Yeah, again, because he has to be the best.
Or he didn't. I would just note the Wall Street Journal has a great article out about there are some recommendations of not taking this test over 75. I hope that wasn't the case. I think the president should be tested. He's the president of the United States. But a lot of questions why these three presidents took it, and we have no evidence that Biden did.
Of course, look, I see it. I mean, it's not necessarily a binary choice only, but it seems pretty clear to me that it's either gross negligence that can border on criminal, or it's
hold the fuck on, border on criminal for not disclosing a PSA test.
Yeah. His last one was in 2014.
Border on criminal.
Yeah, they're fucking dumb.
Is that really what Fox is going to fucking bitch about here? Like, that's the big problem with this? This is the whole fucking video?
Yeah.
Like, because
because it's a Democrat. If Trump was to have done that, it'd be a good thing.
Well, and like, how the fuck? I mean, we should just call this episode "Pot Calling Kettle Black," but like, how the fuck are they going to talk about anything criminal in terms of a president of the United States when, like, especially like even with Biden, there's so many other fucking things you could point out that were criminal. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, right here, as they cheered on the jet from Qatar, or however everybody wants to pronounce it. I hear there's like 20 different ways to say it. Apparently,
Qatar.
Which Qatar is the one that blows my mind. I didn't know that was a pronunciation of it.
Yeah, the anglicized is Qatar. That's how you're supposed to say it. But yeah, like, what the fuck? Like, there's so many other actually criminal things you could point out with Trump. You could point out with Biden. You could definitely fucking point out with Obama. And now that I said that, someone's going to call me a Nazi. You could point out with Bush.
With Fox News still
up. Yeah, with Fox News. Most one of them Nazis. Dude, I still can't get over that guy called me a Nazi on one of my TikToks. He did apologize. He apologized, but that's still it was kind of shocking to me. But yeah, no, this is all this video is. Let me skip forward a little bit here. Maybe they talk about something else. Let's see.
First, I want to bring up to you a frightening quote from that Alex Thompson book out today. It was previewed in the Atlantic, and here is the quote. 5 people were running the country, and Joe Biden was at best a senior board member.
Dude, I love how they say it's the Thompson book. It's the one that Thompson co-wrote with Tapper. They just don't want to say his name.
Yeah, they can't say his name. Can't do that. But dude, again with the pot and the kettle, dude. You're talking about a fucking, like, the current administration is a fucking toddler, okay, with handlers. Although his handlers are now lesser and lesser because he's got a bunch of sycophants who will just let the toddler run rampant through the fucking government. But the government right now is still led by someone who's stunted mentally at best, and who can't make decisions on his own that have anything good that do anything good or have any relevance. So he has to have fucking handlers and people give him crayon notes so he can make out the little information that they pass on to him. This country is being run by a conglomerate of fucking corporations at this point, and Elon Musk. Those are the people running the show right now.
Yeah.
But no. Let's talk about Sleepy Joe. Fucking Christ. Yeah, fuck this here. That's all they're gonna fucking go on about. Hold on. Let's look at something else here. And give me a second.
One.
So we have Hegseth demands review of Afghanistan withdrawal under Biden. You want to look at that one?
Yeah, God. The one that Trump initiated and then Biden had to follow through with it because it was already order that was put in place. That one?
Yep. Let's look at this one. All right.
Morons.
So can you see everything?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Let's listen to this shit. Actually, let's turn the quality up.
In breaking moments ago from the Pentagon, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth is going to be and has instructed the Pentagon to launch a comprehensive review into the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan in 2021. In this new memo, Hegseth says Pentagon spokesman Sean Parnell will be convening a special review panel to thoroughly examine previous investigations to include, but not limited to, findings of fact, sources, witnesses, and analyze the decision-making that led to one of America's darkest and deadliest international moments. This will be the 4th major review into the withdrawal from Afghanistan.
What are they going to read?
They had fucking hearings about this. They had a full fucking team led by Republicans looking into this shit. And you know what they found out?
What?
They found out the fact that fucking Trump was the one who ordered this shit and Biden had to follow through with it because his order already put in place. This has already been done. This has been fucking done. Each time they come to the same fucking result. So yeah, now we're going to do another one, but this one's going to be fucking staged and rigged. And it's going to have all this information that never fucking existed because it never fucking happened.
Yeah, that's my guess on this. And that's where, like, also, if you want me to stop at any time, just let me just say it. I'll stop. But like, I was listening to that thinking, like, we already reviewed this shit. Everybody knows it was Trump's plan. He already gave the order effectively. The gears started turning and then Biden took office and he had to continue turning those gears because we can't, go halfway through a pull out and then fucking go back in. That's stupid. Yeah. So like, this is all Trump. This is a Trump plan. And fucking now we're going to have Hegseth who, like, what is he going to, like, leak the hearing and investigation in a fucking group chat with this? Who knows? But he's going to look into this. I get, like, what is he going to fucking do?
He's going to waste more tax money because this investigation is going to cost tax money.
Yeah, millions.
So they're going to continue doing what Trump did in his first term, which is just waste fucking taxpayer money. And that's all he's been doing this administration. Look at the fucking jet again. The jet is going to be paid with fucking tax money.
Yep.
If it depends on how we do it. If they go through and make him actually pay for it, he's not going to pay for it because they changed it from being donated to him to being donated to the government. That way, he wouldn't have to pay it. We would. And then we also have to pay for the fucking reforming of that to make it qualified, which is going to cost billions of fucking dollars because they have to tear the fucker apart and re-fucking build it with all the proper things in it.
Yep.
God. And plus, doing that, it wouldn't be ready for Trump's term at all. So basically, they would spend all this money, just waste it, and then have to put it straight in the presidential library.
Yeah, he's just going to steal it. That's my call on that one.
Oh yeah, 100%. He's going to fly the fuck out on his last day unless they go through this plan of trying to fucking change Constitution to allow him to stay in office and run for like 20 other terms until he fucking dies.
I think he's dying this term, dude. I think he's gonna kick it in the next 3 years. That's been my guess for a long time. I could be wrong.
Well, I mean, dementia runs in his family, and I think that's going to take him first. It's already, we've seen the signs. They're clear as fucking day. They were clear as day while he was running at the end of his last fucking term. At the beginning of his last term, he was coherent. He was a moron, but he was coherent. Yep. And as it went on, he lost all coherency.
Yeah, he's definitely slowed down and makes even less sense than he used to before his mind started to slip. And like when he rambles, he just doesn't. You can't follow what the fuck he's talking about. So yeah, I think that'll take him before he actually kicks the bucket, and that's probably happening this term, which is double fucking scary because it's like he's not going to step down, and nobody around him is going to like the article or Fifth Amendment or whatever the fuck. Where you could 14th? Like. Or whichever, I forget which one it is, where you could basically call the president out and be like, look, you got to step the fuck down. Which one is process.
That? I can't think of it right now. And I'm spelling words wrong. To remove, it is the 25th Amendment. There we go.
25th, yeah, okay. I knew it had something to do with the 5. Yeah, 25th Amendment to get his ass out because he's incompetent. And it's not like regular impeachment where, you break the law or some shit. Not that matters anymore. But it's more so like if the president is mentally incapable for one reason or another to get him the fuck out of office. Nobody's going to do that with him. So we're going to have an absolute senile madman running the country probably in the next 3 years. And I don't even think they're going to try and change the Constitution. I think he's just going to stay the fuck in. That, like, if he survives, I think he's going to stay in.
Yeah. But, I mean, it would go to Supreme Court, and we see how Supreme Court's ruling. They're either fully supporting him, basically. Well, 8-1, that's close enough to fully supporting him. Or they just don't care, and they'll say, that's not up to us.
Yeah, the Supreme Court's a fucking joke. They've gone off the rails. They're rogue. They only answer to him. And even before he was in, like when Biden was in, they just went full rogue. You know what I mean? It's just there's no trust or faith in them. And also, I want to know what the fuck is Hegseth actually looking for in this investigation? Because you could have an investigation, but you've got to have a purpose. You got to be looking for something.
Probably that Biden specifically tried to make it a bad withdrawal and tried to get our soldiers killed so that they can try to fucking arrest him or something.
What, like he fucking botched it intentionally or something?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Like this dude was in the military. Like he should know that like the president doesn't really like, he gives the bigger like orders, but he doesn't dictate what the fuck's going on the ground. Like he just doesn't, he has nothing to do with that. Outside of like special operations and shit, like, when Obama was overseeing bin Laden's assassination, like outside of that kind of shit, the president isn't on the ground there. He's not controlling. It's not like a fucking video game. You know what I mean? He gives the order, got to pull out, and then the generals take it and officers take it, and they're the ones who deal with that shit. So what could he have done?
Yeah, it could also be to some of the remaining not 100% Trump loyalist generals to get them like court-martialed or something like that.
That's probably it, dude. That's
to
probably
keep thinning out the herd, to keep making sure that it's going to be a 100% Trump military. That way, when they do go for this whole thing of him not leaving office, no one's going to stop him. Like no one in the military will do anything about it. They'll sit there and be like, "Yeah, we gotta praise the Fuhrer."
Yeah, it's probably the people who survived the purge for one reason or another, and he can't quite get shit on them to get him out. So they have to look for this stuff, probably fabricate a lot of it, and then they'll be able to get these people out.
Yeah.
That's probably it. Well, let's see if they say what the fuck. I doubt it, but let's see if they say if he's like what he's looking for.
And John, that just in and crossing now, and obviously of huge interest to all Americans.
And likely we'll hear more about this as well when the Secretary of Defense is going to be visiting with the president in the Oval Office to announce some developments on the Golden Dome. In addition to what you just articulated there, Sandra, Pete Hegseth said this in the memo. He said, President Trump and I have formally pledged full transparency for what transpired during our military withdrawal from Afghanistan. The Department of Defense has an obligation both to the American people and to the warfighters who sacrificed their youth in Afghanistan to get the facts. He promised when he came in that they were going to look into this. Certainly, many people were very upset at the Biden administration, not just for the fact that all of this happened under their watch, but also that no one was held accountable for what happened there. You know, in particular, the Abbey Gate bombing that, as you pointed out, took the lives of 13 of our brave service members. So this could be a step toward accountability here. We'll see.
All right, John.
Yeah, so it's to thin the herd.
Yeah. They're looking to pin it on people and get them the fuck out. Yeah.
Yep.
That's it.
And no, I have not seen the movie Warfare. There's a lot of movies I got to start watching.
Dude, I want to see Warfare so bad. It's an A24 film. I love them to death. Everything they do is fucking incredible. They did the Civil War movie.
Yep.
Which a bunch of people hate because they get stuck on fucking how Texas and California united, which we've said before is a lot more likely than people think.
Yeah.
They just have to have the right cause to unite.
I don't think it would happen under Abbott, but under any other governor in the past, 100%.
It could absolutely happen. I mean, it could happen fucking tomorrow. There's a couple things that would have to happen for it to happen, but they could. It's not like impossible for Texas and California to unite because even though they both hate each other, like they're more similar than anyone else, like at all.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of Texans move to California and a lot of Californians move to Texas. You see this shit all the time, especially the population centers like San Antonio and shit. But did you want to do, what is it, Jon Stewart tears into CNN, or do you want to look at some secular talk shit?
We can do Jon Stewart tears into CNN. How long is the clip? Because they don't like their stuff being shown too much. They're worse than Fox News on it.
Wait, who's they?
Comedy Central.
Oh no, this is from Fox News.
Okay, yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, no, it's about 2 minutes from the looks of it, but it's a Fox News video because I just wanted to pull some shit from Fox so we could rip it apart because that's always fun. Yeah. But all right, let me.
Oh, they're gonna be praising them for this one, even though they were at one point declaring they were being attacked by Jon Stewart.
Yeah. All right, let's do quality. Make sure shit's good. Do volume. Make sure shit's up. All right, here we go.
Jon Stewart is calling out Jake Tapper over his new book about former President Joe Biden. The comedian is questioning why Tapper didn't report on Biden's mental decline sooner after Tapper told his audience, quote, "You will not believe what we found out."
Don't news people have to tell you what they know when they find it out?
Nah.
we don't really have news people. We have talking heads that report on what they want when they want.
We have propaganda artists.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the reporter, at least in the context of mainstream news, the reporter has long since died.
Yep.
There are no fucking reporters. There are no journalists, not in mainstream. There are still journalists out there, but even places like what?
Yeah, there's none that are mainstream, at all.
Yeah. Yeah, but even like Vice. Vice used to be fucking excellent. They're done though. They're done. Yeah. But no, there are still journalists out there. You just have to search for them. But let's see what else they say.
Isn't that the difference between news and a secret? Breaking news in a week.
Tapper has been accused by some of being part of a broader media cover-up over President Biden's mental fitness while in office. And those are your headlines. I mean,
it is, you have to
he
see
can
the
land a
bottom
joke.
line. It's a killer.
Yeah.
It's so true.
Because all they're doing is trying to sell this guy's book when he could have had those same contacts and got those same answers 4 years ago. And the New York Post, in their editorial today, said there's got to be a bipartisan look on why the 25th Amendment wasn't used.
100%.
Because there are cabinet secretaries that said that his meetings were incomprehensible, and they needed to give the questions to their own president ahead of time so we can get the answers on a card.
Here we are again. Dude, we should have named this episode The Pot Calling the Kettle Black.
Yeah. Yep. That's all it's been about. Because, we should have been doing that with Trump the whole time.
God, we should.
His first administration. The dude tried to say nuke a hurricane. Like, you can't get dumber than that.
Or to inject bleach to fight COVID.
Yeah. And the people are saying, like, no, he never said that. Yeah, he fucking did. It's recorded.
Or do you remember he was talking about how to get sunlight inside people because it stops COVID?
Yep.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. All of this is like, you could go find the videos if you really want to. It's out there. Like, oh, God. But no, he didn't. He didn't say that. Nope. Oh, Christ. Let's see what else these fucking dumb shits say.
That's Pete Buttigieg is at the DNC, and these people lie so much, and he pretended like it never even happened. And now they're saying we need a ceasefire because now, and we're all praying for the president. Trust me, we believe in prayer.
Oh, you got a lot to fucking pray for, bro.
Yeah,
you got a lot to fucking pray for.
But the idea, just because he has cancer, that we're just gonna let this be swept under the rug is not happening.
Well, he says the cover-up doesn't work when everyone knows they're lying. He said it's weird that the news is selling you a book about the news they should have told you was news a year ago.
Right. And by the way, Zeke Emanuel, who worked for Biden's transition team and was his COVID advisor, said he did not develop cancer in the last 100 to 200 days. He had it while he was president. He probably had it at the start of his presidency. I don't think there's any disagreement on that. And that Dr. Kevin O'Connor should hand in his lab coat between saying the president was thinking clearly and was 100% healthy.
All a lie.
A big lie, or the worst doctor ever.
Well,
here we go again. Just more of it. More of it. What does Trump's medical report say again? That he's the healthiest person ever.
Dude,
okay. There's I can't remember where the fuck I saw it. It might have been in the Tapper Jordan Klepper video. They're the head of the UFC, something White. I can't remember his first name. But out of all the fighters, all the best fighters in the UFC, Trump's the best.
Yeah, that was in the Klepper video. That was in that one.
Like, fuck you, dude. That is the dumbest thing I've ever fucking heard. Besides nuke a hurricane.
Yeah, nuke a hurricane or get sunshine into people's veins. To fucking make a deal about this while you suck Trump's golden diaper blows my fucking mind. Like, you cannot convince me that these people...
Yeah, Dana White.
Yeah, Dana. Yeah, you cannot convince me that these people believe the Trump administration. There's no fucking way. There's no way. Your average, dumbass conservative yokel, yeah, they probably believe it. But like the people on Fox News and shit, there's no way they believe it. Tucker Carlson's opinion, how he fucking hates Trump. He doesn't believe it, but it makes him money, so he sells the bullshit and destroys the country. Yep. These people are in the same boat. Every fucking one of these people are in the same boat.
Yeah. You can tell by how stiff they are when they say these things. They look awkward saying it because they don't believe it.
They don't. I think some of the talking heads on the right kind of believe shit, but even the dumbasses like Charlie Kirk or Charlie Forehead Kirk.
Well, I think Charlie Kirk believes it because he's just a vile piece of shit.
Well, no, so he's a vile, and that's what I was going to get at. He's a vile piece of shit. So Charlie Kirk, what's his face? Tim Beanie, Tim Pool, Dim Tool, and Tim Beanie, Dim Tool, Tim Beanie Tool, Dual Pool. So him, Charlie Kirk, and like what is it, Andrew Tate, fucking a couple of these like right manosphere piece of shit trash bags. They're vile scum. Okay, most of them are actual fucking Nazis. But like, do they believe in the Trump administration? No, they just like that the Trump administration is doing some shit that they agree with. Like that's where they're selling the Trump admin, but they don't actually support the Trump admin. They're just using that as a tool to get their own views perpetrated, which is double disgusting. It's totally fucked up.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely.
But no, these people sold the country out. They're fucking lying to you. Just like CNN. I'd say the same. If I pulled CNN videos, I'd say the same fucking shit. If we had a Democratic president and I watched CNN do like a fucking blowjob piece on Biden or Kamala or whoever the hell, I'd give you the same spiel. These people sold the country.
Speaking about what they were just saying about that, like somebody should have done the 25th Amendment. That would have put Kamala in office.
Yeah.
Now, if she was to do things differently than how Biden did it, even though she wouldn't, she said it would basically be the same, but she changed some views last minute, which it was sad that she waited till last minute to change her stances on these things, which was also weird. Her whole campaign was fucking bizarre. She started off on decent messaging and then got pulled into by the DNC to the side and said, no, you got to follow these guidelines, which just completely fucking tanked her with even people who were supporting her. And then last minute, she went back to being her and went more powerful with it. And it's like, dude, if you had been able to do that this whole fucking time, your messaging was golden. But we didn't get that. Given I don't believe half what she said, some of it was great. Like she wanted to completely stop the fucking war. She was completely like, no, this shit's got to end. I liked that. Controlling companies and all that, getting prices under control. Love that. I don't think she would be able to do it because that takes a lot of fucking work. We'd have to have a full party of people in Congress and Senate who 100% support her, and none of them would because that's their money.
Well, you shouldn't believe a fucking word she said, dude. Like, it's even with the wars and shit, no way in hell would Boeing or fucking like, Raytheon or whatever, no way in hell those people would let her pull out because they fund everything she does. She would have never changed anything because like it's the same fucking thing. It's always the same thing. The Democrats and the Republicans are both your fucking enemy. Both of them. They're just your enemy with slightly different approaches to their end goal. Their end goal being to continue the wars, to continue stripping rights, to continue siphoning money out of this country, to continue lining their own pockets and the pockets of all of their friends, to continue dividing us, to continue to fucking just consolidate power in any way conceivable, including in the presidency. So like Biden would have, I'm sure if you dug into Biden shit, he probably did something that would help consolidate power, just like fucking Obama did, just like Trump did.
Biden was a racist.
Oh yeah, dude. He talked about, what is it? Like he called black people monkeys or some shit. Wasn't that it?
Yeah. He called them you people as well.
Yeah, you people. And then one time he slipped and said black kids instead of poor kids. Or no. He was supposed to say black kids, but he said poor kids. Like, come on, bro. Yeah. Come on.
Yep.
Like, no, these people are fucking scum, and it doesn't matter what the side of the aisle you sit on. If you're in the fucking aisle, you're in the wrong place.
Yeah. Yeah, both parties need to be completely just tore down and reformed.
Yep. Or just new parties. At this point, I'm going to say, like, let's just have new fucking parties.
Yeah. Yeah, we can't have anybody involved in the DNC currently involved with shit at all. At fucking all. They constantly, like every day, they've been showing their true colors to everybody. And it's like, it's about time. It's about time people are waking the fuck up to the shit.
Yeah, well, it took another fucking loss. And you got a bunch of people saying, like on one of the shorts that I did, excuse me, on TikTok, you have people saying that like, oh, people are going to run to the DNC after Trump because of how bad things are now. I think a lot of people might run to the DNC. Maybe the next president is going to be a Democrat, but I don't think as many people are going to go there as these people think, because most people are waking up to the fact that the Democrats are also fucking wastes. Like they don't do shit. So they're not going to flock to the DNC. Voter turnout for the last election was, I'm pretty sure, I could pull the numbers if we have to, but I'm pretty sure voter turnout on the last election was lower than it's been in the last like fucking 100 years.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it was lower than at least the last 2 elections by far.
Yeah.
So I think Obama's first one, it did well.
Oh,
because people liked his messaging because he is one hell of a talker.
Yeah. Yeah, for all the horrific shit Obama did, I will never say that he is a bad speaker or that he's not charismatic. He is charismatic as fuck.
Yeah.
But no, like there's a reason people didn't turn out. There's a reason Trump won. It's not because his cult is as big as a lot of the people like to say it is, as much as his cultists want to think. It's not because it's huge. It's because people are fucking tired of do-nothing Democrats.
Yep.
God. But yeah, so that's that fucking story. God, dude. Fuck these people.
Yep.
Jesus. I've got 2 more from Kyle Kalinske if you want to go into those, but we could wrap it up too if you want. We're at like an hour and a half.
Yeah, let's do one.
All right.
What do you got?
I got the Trump lets Boeing get away with murder, which I haven't watched either of these. Or I've got Elon's Doge cuts just killed 27 Americans.
Let's do Boeing.
Boeing.
Because fuck Boeing. I mean, fuck Elon, but fuck Boeing.
Yeah, fuck Boeing in particular, dude. Like that, and I want to see how he let them get away with murder because I'm interested what the take is on this. So,
yeah.
Let's share.
I mean, when those people just randomly died in their cars in parking lots and shit, that was under Biden.
Yeah, yeah. When they quote allegedly died unquote by
mysteriously
quote, suicide unquote. Or like the one guy was sick or something, I think.
Yeah.
Just when they were going to testify, they happened to die. I wonder why that happened. Oh, no. A little fucking shady, if you ask me. What?
Read the comment.
Oh, I can't read the comment. Hold on. Because when I'm full screen, I can't.
Oh, if you look carefully, you can see Crystal Ball under the table gripping his balls.
Yeah, you can, actually, if you look real carefully.
Yeah, metaphorically speaking.
Metaphorically, hypothetically, plausibly, implausibly speaking, you could see the fucking ball gripper. All right. So can you see the screen?
Yep.
All right, here we go. Let's listen to what Kuklinski has to say.
About immense corporate greed and how it's destroying this country. So you all are familiar with the company Boeing, and they make planes, and they're competing with this foreign company named Airbus. And in the midst of competing with them, trying to come up with the next great plane that they could sell to countries all over the world, they decided, you know what? We need to cut corners. We need to cut corners to make more profit.
Wait, Boeing cutting corners? No.
Never heard that happen. Their planes are like so sturdy and well built.
It's not like their doors fall off or anything mid-flight,
Yeah, or the ceiling falls down and people have to like kind of prop it up a little bit.
Yeah, dude, no, that shit never happens. Boeing cutting, what are you talking about, dude?
And, well, that had some really, really negative consequences, didn't it? So you had the Boeing 737 MAX plane. They premiered it well before it was actually ready, when there was a problem that they knew the plane had. And as a result of that, you had 2 plane crashes where large numbers of people died. I believe the exact number was 346. So here is a breakdown for you as to exactly what happened. And this is really eye-opening. Then I'll tell you what Trump just did about Boeing. Watch this.
This is an airplane engine. It's sitting in a field in Bishaftu, Ethiopia.
Are we going to get nuked by Secular Talk and Vox? This will be fun.
Yeah.
I've not seen this video. I didn't know this was going to happen. But let's see. Let's see what Vox has to say.
The wreckage of Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302, which crashed on March 10th, 2019. 157 people died. This was just a few months after another flight, Lion Air 610, crashed in Indonesia and killed 189 people. These 2 flights were operating the same plane, the Boeing 737 MAX 8. And its engine is the key to understanding why this particular plane has caused so many problems. But there's nothing actually wrong with this engine. In fact, airplane manufacturers raced to put them on their new planes. That's where the problem started. The two biggest airplane manufacturers in the world are Airbus and Boeing, and they have a fierce rivalry. If one of them can offer a better plane, the other could lose a lot of money. That's exactly what was about to happen in 2010. Airbus announced that they would update their most popular model, the A320, a single-aisle airplane that services many domestic flights. You've probably been on one. For this new plane, Airbus had a big update. It would have a new kind of engine. It was much larger than the previous engine, but it would make the plane 15% more fuel efficient. And just as importantly, this upgrade wouldn't change the plane that much. A pilot could walk into the new model with little additional training and be on their way. It was called the A320neo, and it would save airlines a lot of money. This was a problem for Boeing. To compete with Airbus, Boeing's obvious move was to upgrade the engine on their single-aisle plane, the 737. But there was one issue. Here's a sketch of the 737 next to the Airbus A320. Notice how the 737 is lower to the ground than the A320. This meant Airbus could slide a new engine under the wing of their A320, but there wasn't enough room under the wing of the Boeing 737. But a few months later, Boeing's product development head had big news. He said, "We figured out a way to get a big enough engine under the wing."
Are you fucking kidding me, dude?
Yeah, that's sketchy.
Dude, so they're not going to raise the height of the plane and drop a new fucking engine on there. So when that thing hits the ground, it just blows the fuck up. That's what I assume is going to happen here.
Yeah.
But fucking Christ,
dude. Their solution was to move up the engine on the wing so that it would be slightly higher, and it would fit on their 737s. Here's a promotional video of that updated 737 in the air. You can actually see that the top of the engine is above the wing. Boeing called this model the 737 MAX. And just like Airbus with the A320, Boeing said that their new plane was so similar to its predecessor that pilots would only need minimal additional training. The 737 MAX became the hottest selling plane on the market. And it helped Boeing keep up with Airbus. Except moving the engine up on the 737 had a side effect. When the 737 MAX was in full thrust, like during takeoff, the nose tended to point too far upward, which could lead to a...
Yeah, so because I love airplanes. I love like air flight and shit. So those engines are probably tilted upward just enough that it pushes you higher than you're supposed to be on takeoff.
Yeah.
So like if you cut up too high when you're taking off, as far as I understand it, like wind and different shit can affect the bottom of the plane, and a plane doesn't fly straight. It kind of like wiggles through the air. Yeah. It's a very like touchy, delicate thing. Even these giant fucking airplanes they're very touchy. So if you're taking off and you're too high, I think you could probably flip it. I believe, as far as I understand, like shit could just go real bad real quick.
Yeah.
If this happens. Oh fuck, dude, this is bad.
Was stall. This was a problem because these planes were supposed to behave exactly like the old ones. So Boeing came up with a workaround. Instead of re-engineering the planes, they installed software that automatically pushed the nose downward if the pilot flew the plane at too high of an angle.
Oh, what the fuck?
What?
They called it the Maneuvering Characteristics Augmentation System, or MCAS. But because Boeing was selling the 737 MAX as pretty much the same plane as the 737, they didn't highlight the new MCAS system. Many pilots only got a 2-hour iPad course before entering the cockpit for the first time.
Oh my God.
You know, no one paid attention to that fucking iPad course. Nobody.
Just wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Didn't really inform them of it. So they're trying to fight something that they can't. And they're just, it's both. It's system error along with user error because they don't know.
Yeah. Well, like, hey, you know, you'd figure if you're putting someone in a fucking plane that basically is jumpier than the last plane that they've piloted, you should tell them, hey, this plane, you know, it likes to tip up on the nose a little bit. It gets a little fucking finicky. So we have this new MCAS system that'll help you maintain that shit. Here's a little like booklet on it, whatever, a little guide, even if it was the iPad shit, like here's the MCAS system. Here's how it works. Here's why this new plane needs it. Get the fuck on the plane. Like that. That's all you need.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And the training material didn't mention the MCAS software.
Oh my God.
In 2018, several American pilots complained to the federal government that the 737 MAX was suddenly nosing down. On October 29th, 2018, Lion Air Flight 610 took off from Jakarta. In the flight report, which shows the plane's altitude over time.
Oh, I think this is going to be the one that... Did you see the video of that plane crash? I don't know if it was here or if it was somewhere else. Like someone was recording video as the plane crashed from within the plane. Did you see that one?
No.
Oh God, dude, it's horrible because the phone survives. The person did not, but the phone survived it. And fucking, it is one of the most horrific videos I've ever seen. There's no blood or gore or anything. It's just, but like it captures the moments of utter fear and knowledge that you're gonna die in the last minutes of an air crash. It's fucking horrific, dude. But this might be the one I want to see.
You can see that the plane was in full thrust during takeoff. But at a certain point, the nose of the plane kept lurching downward. The pilots couldn't figure out why this was happening. The captain asked the first officer to check the quick reference handbook. They couldn't find the solution. The pilots continued to...
It's lurching down because the MCAS system is registering that it's too high, so it's pulling the plane down when it shouldn't be. That's probably what's happening.
Yeah.
Fight with the MCAS. The plane struggled to gain altitude. Reports show it was likely because the computer was getting incorrect sensor data, pushing the plane toward the earth below. 12 minutes after takeoff, the plane crashed into the Java Sea.
Oh no, this isn't the
My
one.
God.
Jesus, dude. So yeah, the system was trying to compensate for a problem that wasn't fucking there.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude.
In the Ethiopia crash, the report shows that the pilots were actually able to disable the MCAS, but it was too late to overcome the malfunctioning MCAS sensors. For now, nearly every 737 MAX 8 in service has been grounded, and the Federal Aviation Administration is facing scrutiny over how they rushed this plane through certification. Boeing's response has been to apply a software update that makes the MCAS less aggressive, while also saying they'll increase pilot training on how to turn it off. This problem started with the company's race to compete with its rival. It pushed them to pretend like their new plane behaved exactly like their old one, even when it didn't.
Look at that shit, dude. Look at that. There's the price of fucking capitalism.
Yep.
Right there.
You want to go on a plane trip?
No, dude, you ain't getting my ass on a plane fucking at all, dude. I don't care if I've got to take a ship. I don't care if I've got to like drive a fucking or ride in a bus across the country or whatever. Like I will do anything but get in a fucking airplane at this point. I'll swim, dude.
Well, when this is done, I'll show you a plane really quick I want to be on just because I like it.
All right, yeah. Well, let's see what like I want to see what his angle is with like how did Trump let them get away with this? That's what I'm interested in.
They rushed it through because all they cared about was profit.
Yep.
They needed to compete with Airbus. They bought off the federal regulators, so they won't blow the whistle on it. This story gets darker and deeper. Ready for this?
The Boeing 737 MAX still grounded after 2 deadly crashes. A whistleblower is going public to NBC's Cynthia McFadden, saying he warned the company about production problems before those planes went down.
What did it feel like the last day of Boeing, the day you retired?
Felt like I was abandoned in Titanic.
After 30 years in the military, much of it spent in an airplane, Ed Pearson, once a commanding officer, has a strong sense of duty. Why did you decide to come and talk to us, to come and testify later this week in front of Congress?
Well, actually, wasn't my plan. I feel like I didn't really have a choice.
Bottom line is you're worried about people dying in Boeing planes.
Yeah, absolutely.
In 2008, Pearson went to work for Boeing at their massive plant in Renton, Washington, where all the company's 737s are built. The 737 was a magnificent airplane, great safety record. Were you excited to work for the company and to be part of the 737 production?
How could you not want to work for Boeing? It's an amazing company.
But in late 2017, as production of Boeing's new 737 MAX ramped up, Ed Pearson says he started to see things that alarmed him.
It was just out of control, and it was ridiculous.
The race to build the new planes and compete with Europe's Airbus pushed the production schedule into overdrive, he says. Instead of 47 planes a month, 52 were being built. So how much overtime was going on at this point? Did it double?
More than double. You work 7 days straight, you're beat, and you're tired.
He says during this period, many people worked weekend after weekend as there weren't enough engineers or electricians, and some ended up doing jobs they had never been trained for. A perfect storm for production problems, he says. He sent this email to the head of the 737 team in June 2018, expressing his concern that workers were inadvertently embedding safety hazards into our airplanes. I know how dangerous even a small defect can be to the safety of an airplane. He says he urged the Boeing manager to shut down the factory for a few weeks to straighten things out. And what was his reaction to that?
And he said, we can't shut down. And then I kind of got mad and said, I've seen military operations shut down for a lot less.
What was his reply?
Dude, this is another fucking trend we've seen over and over and over and over again. Remember that tornado that hit some Amazon factory like a year or two ago?
Yeah.
That people were like the fucking supervisor in the factory was like, oh no, you got to stay there. Even though the alarms were off, they had a tornado watch. Like all the signs are pointing towards, hey, we're going to have a fucking tornado. And he told the people to stay at the fucking factory, and like 8 or 9 people died from it.
Yep.
God, it's, or just like, look at COVID. With COVID, when fucking we had the lockdowns and stuff, and some companies were still saying, no, you've got to come in.
Yep.
It's profit over lives, dude. Profit at the cost of your life.
The job we did during COVID, the fact that our customers were still doing stuff is just mind blowing.
Yeah.
We should have had 0 calls.
Yep. But no, they kept working. Shipping kept going. Well, after like a week or 2, shipping kept going. Like fucking front facing customer service jobs, like cashiers and shit, and people at fast food places were still going on. There barely any gloves, barely any PPE. No customers were encouraged to wear PPE going to places. There was a bunch of disinformation on everything. That's a whole fucking bag. There's all kinds of shit, but we see profit over people over and over and over and over again, dude.
Lives don't matter.
No, the bottom line matters. That's it.
Yeah.
The fucking number go big. That's all that matters.
Yeah, BLM. Bottom line matters.
Yep, bottom line matters. The second BLM movement. But so I assume Trump is just going to be like, oh, it's okay. They can do whatever the fuck they want. But let's see.
Something I'll never forget. He said, well, the military is not a profit-making organization.
Military is not a profit-making organization.
Okay.
They're just admitting it. They're just admitting it.
What would you use to describe that factory at that point?
Dangerous, unnecessary, taking unnecessary risk, chaotic, disarray.
4 months later, a Lion Air 737 MAX crashed, killing all 189 people on board. And the irony that when you wrote that first letter, that Lion airplane was on the factory floor.
It was within our production system at the time. When I saw that.
Jesus Christ, dude. That exact plane was on the floor when he was telling them to stop this shit.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy, dude. God.
And I'm pretty sure the reason, like at the beginning of this interview, they asked him, like, why did you come talk to us since, before you go to your announcement or whatever it is you're hearing next week? Because he knows what will happen within that next week. There's a good chance he'll just randomly be found in his car.
Yep. He'd be the what, 4th?
Yeah.
The like 3rd or 4th fucking whistleblower who just happens to die right before testifying.
Yep.
Christ, dude. Where the fuck have we gone, dude? Like, this is just like we have to say allegedly that Boeing is allegedly murdering whistleblowers. Legally speaking, we have to say that. But like, come on, dude. Like, it's as clear as the fucking, somebody's got to do it type shit. Or in Minecraft, like fucking, they probably did this shit, dude.
Yeah.
God.
I really can't say. I mean, I don't know how to describe. I cried a lot.
Did you?
Yeah. I'm mad at myself because I felt like maybe I could have done more.
Over the next several months, he reached out to Boeing's CEO and their general counsel, but felt nothing was being done. 19 days after sending this letter to the Boeing board, a second 737 MAX crashed. Afterwards, the 737 MAX was grounded. Boeing has acknowledged mistakes, including that their anti-stall system contributed to both crashes. Pearson says he doesn't know if what he witnessed contributed to the crashes, but it's the uncertainty that disturbs him.
Somewhere in the end of my letter to the board, I said, no one wants to wake up one morning and hear of another accident. And that's exactly what happened.
What do you say to Americans who are planning to fly on a 737, even in the next few weeks?
My family's in the same boat. I would demand that the FAA, in their role as regulators, go in, thoroughly investigate that factory.
So, Cynthia, what
would you say to someone who plans on flying in the next couple of months? Don't.
Yeah. Don't.
Fucking don't, dude. Like, there was another guy, and I think Kalinsky talked about him too. He was like an air traffic controller or some like FAA guy, some higher up dude in like air traffic control or the FAA, somebody. And he basically came out and said, like, don't travel at this point. Just don't.
Yeah. So I understand where this is going with how it's Trump's fault. It's his FAA firings. How he just started gutting them after he got in office.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, we don't even have to finish it. Yeah. Okay. So he gutted them, and now because the FAA is basically impotent, these airplane companies can just run rampant and continue doing this shit, continue having these bad practices, continue making planes that are shoddy and ready to fall apart, continue not training people. Fucking,
yep.
They could just keep going as they've been going, because the only thing that matters is number go big, and fuck anybody who dies in the wake of that.
Yep.
Christ.
Yep. Now let me show you this beautiful plane.
Show me a good plane.
This is the Airbus Beluga. In all clarity, this is a transport ship. Like, it's a cargo ship.
Yeah.
But I fucking love this.
Oh my god, dude. That is the like, airplanes are naturally pretty fucking beautiful. Like, I love airplanes. They look sexy. They're fucking cool. This thing is disgusting, dude. Airbus. Like, what the fuck are we doing? At least they named it Beluga because it's appropriate.
Yeah. Yeah. There's an opened up. So it can usually take large transport.
The planes with a giant ass top like that are usually like just big cargo planes.
Yeah. Yeah. They have their regular ones that you would see.
Yeah. Those are fucking beautiful. I love the regular planes. Like, I think Airbus makes better looking planes than Boeing, honestly. But, performance wise, I don't fucking know. I haven't played enough Microsoft Flight Simulator lately, but
if you do, use the Beluga.
Dude, I'll use it and just run it into the fucking ground.
We got it for Boeing, so it's realistic.
True. Yeah. No. Well, I mean, if it was super, I got to look for a mod where like shit just starts falling off of the plane. As I fly it. No, but yeah, just don't fly at this point, man. The FAA is fucked. Air traffic controllers are cut in half. So they're like, each tower only has like 50% staffing at this point. You've got accidents happening all over the place. I think more aerial accidents have happened in the last like 100 days of Trump's administration than any other president. So like, just don't, if you absolutely have to, you have to, you know, but if you don't have to, just don't get in a plane at this point.
Yeah. Yep.
Not in America anyway.
Yep. Absolutely. All right. So I think we're going to go ahead and wrap up.
Yeah.
So, of course, we're not doing our show next week. We'll pick up again on the first Monday of June, the 2nd. We'll pick up doing this show again. Next week, we are doing Talk of Better Worlds, Survive, Thrive, or Die, our nerd channel. So definitely, if you want to, if you're watching this later, go check that one out. Talk of Better Worlds. It is fantastic. And then we'll be doing this basically at least 3 times a week, 4 times, or a week, a month. We'll be doing not a week. We'll be doing this 3 times a month at least. Like next month, we're going to be doing it 4 times because there's 5 Mondays. Yeah. So it'll be fun. Join us on both channels. And that's all I got. So I'm going to stop rambling on, and you guys take care.
Stay safe. Thanks for watching, Carlitos.
Oh, yeah.